Hi everyone, it's Holly McFarland. I am here at East Texas Communities Foundation. I am the PR director, and as you are well aware by now, East Texas Giving Day falls under my umbrella. They tell me that we might be having a little bit of communication issues. If you can hear me, anyone can put that into the Q&A down here so that I can see if you guys can hear me or not. So I'm going to keep going. Hopefully this will work out. Hang on just one second. Let's see. Okay. So I wanted to kind of visit. I'm going to hold the microphone just so we can make sure we have everything going here, kids. Okay. So with East Texas Giving Day coming up, there are a few things that I want you guys to be aware of. Pre-scheduled giving started April 5th. We have quite a few contributions going through the system at this time. Start your marketing, get it going, share on Facebook. When you share twice, share 4 more times. The more times you put it out there, the more times the higher probability that the world will see it. If you don't have extra resources to boost post or to run advertising, Facebook ads, then you have to create your own momentum and organic growth, and you have to share, and have friends share. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward into the next 11 days before Giving Day starts. Profiles are locked on April 21st. As a registered participant in East Texas Giving Day, you have until April 21st to change or add or modify content within your profile. If that means you have more matching funds, or if that means that you have a new person in charge, the point person, the team leader that's indicated in your profile is who is going to get all future communications related to East Texas Giving Day. It is imperative that that is going to the person that is handling the East Texas Giving Day account or the campaign. If you are listed as the team captain within your profile and you're not really actively doing anything within your profile, please change it to whoever is responsible at your organization, because there's lots of critical emails that I send out and they're only going to go to that individual listed as the team captain. It is up to the team captain to disperse that information to the relative people that need it. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Again, schedule social media. Think about if peer fundraising is something that might be good for your organization. Peer fundraising is something that we launched this year. There is a webinar. It's located at easttexasgivingday.org under nonprofit resources. Watch it again. There's also under the frequently asked questions under the peer fundraisers heading, there is a 4-minute video that walks a donor through creating a peer-to-peer fundraiser. So we've got some support docs out there. They are for you to access. I encourage you to go out and do so. And there's lots of, I think there's like 38 peer fundraisers already created. If you go to easttexasgivingday.org, and at the top, there's a tab that says Search Nonprofits. Underneath that is a little tab, a sub-tab that says Search Peer Fundraisers. You can see what some of the other organizations, very generous donors, have already done to benefit their organizations. So take advantage of it. I think it's going to be an excellent way for you to generate some enthusiasm for your campaigns. Let's see, if you receive cash and check offline that you receive within your organization or at an event that you do related to Giving Day, and you want to report that so that it goes into the system against your match, I've sent out a spreadsheet. I'll send it out again prior to Giving Day. The spreadsheet is a document that all I need is the name of the donor and the amount that they wanted to give. It's an honor system. I'm assuming that everyone has got a great ethics code and no one is going to do anything kind of fraudulent related to this event. So write down the name of the donor, the amount that they gave, email that back to info@etcf.org, and our staff will enter those for you in the wee hours of East Texas Giving Day. They will not count towards prizes. However, that amount will go into the system and appear on your leaderboard and go against your matches that you have into the system. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Again, East Texas Giving Day is April 27th. This is a great time for you to go to easttexasgivingday.org, type in the name of your organization, and look at your profile. If the links don't work, or the email link doesn't work, or you see a typo, or a photo is upside down, this is when you would go in and make those updates. You just go to easttexasgivingday.org in the search window as if you were a donor looking for you, type in your name, your organization's name, and then you'll see the public profile just like Jim, John, or Joe who came to make donations that day would see you. It's a great proofing opportunity for you to see what you look like on your profile page. And then you still have a few days to go in and operate. So those are just some housekeeping things that I want you guys to be aware of as we move forward. Again, all content, including this webinar, have been recorded and will be recorded, are available on easttexasgivingday.org under nonprofit resources, and you can view them as many times as you need. And of course, if you do have questions, you're welcome to email me. Okay, so you're sitting at your desk and your email dings, and you look and you see a lovely email that looks like this. It says, "Congrats" in the subject line, "Donation received for East Texas Giving Day." This should make you very happy, and you should do a little happy dance, because this means that all your hard work over the past few months has paid off, and that some lovely person has come to the site and made a contribution to your organization. When you get this email, you may be wondering what the next step would be. You need to go get your donor report. The donor report is the key to your East Texas Giving Day campaign. You've done a lot of great marketing, and I know you guys are tagging everything about East Texas Giving Day in all your social media posts, and you've put out wonderful emails instructing people to go out and show their love and give to your organization. Your Giving Day report is the culmination of all that effort, okay? It's going to contain your donor's name, address, email, and phone, which are so critical to you in your future fundraising efforts. People will move and never tell you that they've left their home on, Sunny Street. However, very rarely will they change their phone number or their email. I mean, my favorite thing is I was at an event one time at a training, and they said to go through all of your email addresses that are within your system and sort by the AOL.coms, because those people have been on the internet for the longest, and those people are going to be in a certain, more than likely, age bracket, which you could send more like planned giving and things like that too. It was a great little tip. I'm sharing that with you guys on donor stewardship. But again, people won't change their email addresses, and they won't change their cell phone numbers. And that's the information that they're going to enter in when they make their gift. You're also going to find out if they are interested in volunteering for your organization. These are the kind of things these are what you're using East Texas Giving Day for, is to build your team, to build your volunteers, to build your database. This content that's on your donor report updates in real time once the donation has processed. So if Jim Smith shows up on your donor report, his contribution has processed and gone through. That money is in the bank for you whenever we distribute your East Texas Giving Day grants. Okay, so how do you get to this magic report? Go to easttexasgivingday.org. Log in to the admin portal. So, you go to easttexasgivingday.org, upper right-hand corner, it says log in. You choose nonprofit, use your password and admin, and you get in, and you're going to click on My Donations. It's the tab just up under East Texas Giving Day's logo at the top. You will then click on Export. It will download to your downloads folder. I'm assuming it's how your computer is set up. Most of them are. It will download and you will have an Excel spreadsheet to tinker with. Okay. Watch for the date range report, the date range within your report when you download it. I have it defaulted to only be for 2021. However, if you have participated in previous years, you do have access to go in and get all previous year's content. So just know that. But if this is your first year, it will be defaulted to 2021's event, but you can export a full, database of names and gifts and years if you were a past participant. Okay, so this is kind of an example of what the Excel spreadsheet is going to look like. In the first column, it's going to tell you if the donor was anonymous or not. If they are marked yes, you will see there is nothing here. I can't give you any more information. I know nothing more about this individual than you do. If they've indicated that they wanted to give anonymous, then that was their choice, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I just think it's just a testimony to the individuals and that they wanted to support you. And it's just a lovely little gift, and just be happy and take it as a blessing. So you're going to find out the first last name of the individual, if the gift was in honor of or in memory of someone. The next box is cover fees. Covering fees can help you and your financial team whenever you are reviewing post East Texas Giving Day, like guesstimating what your distribution would be. It's going to have some weird numbers. It's going to say, like, if it was a $100 gift, it'll say 105.26. So that $5.26 is the fee. Remember, it's 5.26% added on to every gift. Your donor report is going to show the gift with the fee. We handle all that administratively here at ETCF so that whenever we distribute the check, you get the correct part minus the fees. But I just want you to know that's what that column is indicating and telling you, so it can be a great resource for you and your finance team. There's the billing addresses, the cities, zip codes, email address. Are you a first-time donor or not? That is some great information for you to have as you are doing donor stewardship. If they're brand new, we'll talk a little later on about things that you can do to welcome a new donor. This is the amount. Remember, this is what I was telling you. See right here where it says like 105.09. That was a prior year when the credit card fees were just a little bit less, but that would be a $100 gift, to you guys, with $5.09 going to the credit card companies. The other interesting thing is over here under volunteers. That's a relatively new feature that we added. Because we're trying to prove that East Texas Giving Day is not just a financial investment, it is a personal one as well. We want people to feel like they can give of their time as well as their finances. So we're trying to encourage that the past 2 years for this volunteer component. So if it says no, the individual has clearly expressed that they are not interested in volunteering, and that's all well and good. If it says yes, then please contact them, and I'll give you some strategies for that here in a little bit. If it is blank, it just means they skipped. It was not a required field, so they just skipped over it. But that does not mean to not outreach to them. Blank just means they didn't slow down to take the time to complete that field. I do encourage you that even if it's blank, for you to reach out to them with opportunities and things that your organization does to bring them in and help them understand more efficiently what your mission is. Okay, so a common question that I get on Giving Day is, do I send receipts? No, all donations processed through East Texas Giving Day receive an automatic tax receipt via email. That is anything that comes through our system, cash, e-check, a donor advised fund gift. All of those recorded contributions that come through the portal will be receiving automatic gift receipts that they will use on their taxes. If you, however, receive cash or check at your office, then you do have to do the administration. You do have to do the tax receipt, any acknowledgement or thank you. You have to process that check, deposit it at your bank, all the administrative things that you would normally do. And if you do want to record it as part of your East Texas Giving Day campaign, complete the spreadsheet that I sent you before, Send it in by April 27th at 5 p.m. to info@etcf.org, and we will handle the rest of getting it into the system for you. And the bonus part to that is any check that you get at your office and you do all the admin and you do all the processing for and you report it, those don't get feed. We just enter it in as a sum on the back end of the East Texas Giving Day system for you so that it goes in and counts towards your match. Now, the most important thing about this whole thing being donor stewardship is no matter where the gift comes from, everyone should get a thank you. If it comes through East Texas Giving Day, they deserve a thank you. If it comes through your office's traditional portals, whether it be the mailbox or cash in hand or your online credit cards, everyone should be thanked for doing making a generous gift to your organization. Also, I wanted to remind everyone that if you do nothing more for your East Texas Giving Day campaign than to send out an email to past givers, 99% of East Texas Giving Day donors from 2020 said they would do it again if asked. You can almost guarantee that you would at least raise the same amount of money on easttexasgivingday.org in 2021 as you did in 2020 if you just ask. So that to me is a very positive and reassuring thing that people do enjoy this site and they do enjoy the event, so don't be afraid to ask. Okay, so let's talk about those volunteers. Follow up with the donors that asked to be volunteers. You can keep the momentum up and relationships between gifts by sending supporters customized invitations for unique volunteer opportunities. Also, if they ask your East Texas Giving Day donor would like to volunteer, send a checklist somewhere where they can plug in. And what I mean by that is, so I had to take my daughter, she's a National Honor Society student, and I was trying to find some opportunities for her to do some community service as part of her National Honor Society. And, I don't know as a 13-year-old how she could get involved with some organizations, sorting cans or distributing things. There's a skill set that a 13-year-old has versus a 42-year-old. So I really wished that some of the organizations had a more itemized checklist, or maybe, like high school things that high school students could do or things that adults can do. To kind of give me an idea of where my skill set and her skill set could have been plugged in at some of these organizations. Think about how you can use these individuals and capitalize on what they know. So in the system, we incorporated this year a volunteer tab, and Christian Women's Job Corps, Christian Men's Job Corps of Nacogdoches has utilized that this year. If you haven't, again, you have until April 21st to go in and add content here. So the volunteer tab shows up on their profile, and when you click it, they've listed 5 different ways that as a donor that I can contribute my time. So I could be a social media coordinator for them. I could be an office assistant. There's different things that I could go in and I could do. And I know that my skill set would be best used as a social media coordinator. So if I was interested in volunteering with this lovely organization, then I could go there with some information in hand and know that my services could be used and benefit what they're doing. So I just wanted to compliment them. They did a good job of getting some information out there. Okay, so data-driven giving. Okay, so when you start at the end of East Texas Giving Day and you're looking through all the lovely people who supported your organization through this event, think about the data and how you could utilize that. So did the donor increase their gift amount from last year to this year? Or did they increase their amount from what they started off at East Texas Giving Day 2020 or 2016 and over the years have contributed to you, after that event, and has their contribution increased? Did a first-time donor convert to an annual donor? So say they found you for the first time on East Texas Giving Day, you sent them some stellar communications, and now they're, an annual contributor to your organization. Those are things that a conversion, those are what you want to document within your systems. Did your board give? You have everyone's name on the donor report. You can pull a report and go in and see what your board percentage was of giving. Did volunteers give? If you have, Jim, John, and Joe, you can go on and you can see if they supported this financially on your campaign. Did a lapsed donor come back that you haven't seen in a while? Because this could be an excellent opportunity for you to do outreach and kind of get them back in the fold. Perhaps they really didn't know, perhaps you didn't have or didn't promote that you had an online giving portal. They found you again on East Texas Giving Day. Perhaps they like to give digitally. So this is a great opportunity for you to connect with those individuals and find out what brought them back and how they were attracted to the Giving Day event. Was there a giving level that most donors gave? That could help you as you build your campaigns in the future. If everyone gave at $50, what was it about that made it such an attractive entry level for them? And did you add East Texas Giving Day donors to your annual fund into your database? The whole thing is you're getting all this content. You need to continue to utilize it. It's not a one and done. These people love you and they want to support you, so you want to keep them in the loop and informed. So make sure you add them into your database, whatever that is. If you're small enough to just have an Excel spreadsheet, fantastic, drop them in. If you have some big Razor's Edge program, great. You need to incorporate these people and tag them appropriately so that in the future you can communicate to them. Take advantage of this opportunity with peer fundraisers. It is, I've already seen dramatic increases in giving because of the peer fundraising. After East Texas Giving Day is over, you'll know who all of your peer fundraisers were. So think about that as you're going through it. Who created a peer fundraiser for your nonprofit? Was it somebody that you knew? Is it somebody new? Is it a volunteer? Is it a board member? Think about those kind of things. The cool thing on a peer fundraiser is they tell the story, their personal story about why your organization is important to them. So maybe they tell something you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know that Jim rescued his dog from your organization, or maybe his mother, whenever they were growing up, had to go through the food bank in order to get resources while he was growing up. You don't necessarily know all of that, but if they put it out there in their peer story, then you can capitalize on that information and add that into their profiles. Who of their friends gave to the campaign? Are they new? Did Jim's friend give to the campaign and you didn't know that Jim was friends with John? So think about that. Try to connect the dots and see if like John was already a contributor to you and you can connect all of those storylines. Plan to recognize these givers. They went above and beyond to get involved in East Texas Giving Day. So to go out and create a peer fund campaign is not complicated, but it is something above and beyond that this individual went out to do. You can celebrate them. You can invite them to your office for coffee. It doesn't have to be anything like some grandiose, steak dinner or anything, but just think about how you want to recognize this individual because they have gone above and beyond to create a peer campaign to benefit your organization, and they've shared it and become a little vulnerable by telling their own personal story as to how your organization has impacted their lives. So I just think it's a great opportunity for you to do outreach and donor stewardship with these guys that create these peer campaigns. Here's some examples that are out there. So the hospice one, I just wanted you guys to see that this individual had created a $1,000 goal, and it's already at almost half of that. $500 has almost been raised. We are still 11 days away from East Texas Giving Day, and this individual has already reached half of their goal for this campaign. So you can have money in the bank already coming with these peer campaigns. The little postcards that you see at the bottom are what the screen looks like. Whenever you click on fundraisers, you can see, I love this part where it says 37% funded, 7% funded. It tells you on the peer fundraiser how far along these individuals' campaigns are. And it's just a great way for you to cheer them on and celebrate them and just thank them for putting out this extra effort. This was a great email that we received from an organization that is participating in Giving Day, inviting people to create a peer fundraiser to benefit their organization. I just thought it was really timely and very well done, so I shared it. So y'all don't steal too much of its information, but I just thought that First Tee should get a little pat on the back for being so thoughtful and sending out the information so that people could support them and create their own fundraisers. So kudos to First Tee. Goal setting. So do you know your donor retention rate? Knowing your donor retention rate is important because it's an indicator of satisfaction. Donor acquisition is very expensive and resources are limited at nonprofits. So focus on retaining donors that you already have and help foster donor loyalty. There is a mathematical equation, and I have to say I am not a math person, but there is a simple math equation that I'm going to share with you on how you can get your donor retention rate. It's the number of your donors divided by the number of previous year's donors times 100. So it's returning donors divided by previous year's donors times 100. That will tell you your donor retention rate. It can be very beneficial to know, again, the satisfaction and help you improve your donor stewardship so that you can foster that loyalty. Okay, organization is going to be your best friend. Use your data reporting tools within your content management system. And again, you may be small and you may only have an Excel spreadsheet, but it needs to be current and up to date and not have 14 copies of it. You need to figure out how to keep it organized and keep it where you can easily access it and get that content out that you need in order to be successful. Again, if you're using some really advanced software like Razor's Edge or something like that, it has lots of reports and things that you can use. But good data in is good data out. And so always, always, always be thinking about how to stay organized within your content. You can segment your donors by donor type. Were they first-time donors, major donors, event donors, those kind of things. Demographics are helpful, could help you in your marketing depending on what your messaging is. Male, female, age, zip codes. Zip codes are important. I use zip codes whenever the foundation does marketing for East Texas Giving Day. I know our target areas, and so I focus on those zip codes when I create my donor profiles within social media. So if you know that you have donors that come from a core zip code, then perhaps that's what you want to focus on. You can tag them as East Texas Giving Day, or if you had a postcard that went out, maybe you have a key tag on the mail-in so that you can tag that this is the campaign, this is the wording that we used that motivated a contribution from this individual. So think about those kind of things as you're getting your content out. And also a really good thing is the history of giving. You can, like I said, go back on your East Texas Giving Day and see if Mr. Jim gave in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021. You can find out the history of giving and you can determine if that person, if you can convert them into not just an annual giver, but maybe a major donor at that point. Years of devotion to your organization elevates them whenever you're trying to decide about how to steward them the correct way. Okay, so earlier I was mentioning new donors. I think the stat is 35% of donors that gave on East Texas Giving Day were new donors. So I anticipate that your organization will receive at least one, that's our hope, is that you get a new donor out of the deal. So send them a welcome packet. They may not know a whole lot about your organization. Send them a brochure, some basic materials, a letter. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Invite them to take a tour. I know we are in a COVID environment, but perhaps your organization has relaxed some of their restrictions, and this individual could possibly come and see what you do firsthand. Add them to your newsletters. Any kind of marketing pieces that you have, this individual needs to be added to that. And this is very near and dear to my heart. The first piece of mail that a new donor receives should not be another ask. It should be information based. And I'm going to explain it like this. Whenever my child has a birthday and grandma comes over and she gives my child a beautiful present, I do not send a thank you, or I do not instruct my child to send a thank you back to grandma that says, "Hey, grandma, that shirt was great. The next giving opportunity is my birthday or Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter." No one does that. It should not be that way in the nonprofit space as well. I just think it's a common courtesy to not ask. It kind of debunks the thank you, because you're telling that person that, hey, that money was great, but here's the next here's the next thing I need. So think about it. Think about how it makes you feel when someone just constantly is taking from you. Reward that person with a very gracious and thoughtfully worded thank you. So anyway, that's my soapbox. I promise I won't go there again. Okay, communications are key. I have received through my years of East Texas Giving Day some of the most lovely handwritten notes. This is an example of one from a board member at the Children's Park. I received this one, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago or so, but it's just lovely. This board member did not have to do this, but she wrote a very gracious um, remark for a very minor gift. I gave them a small, I can't go out and give huge donations, so I gave them a small gift, and I just thought it was a lovely thing. We had a donor that we visited with after East Texas Giving Day last year that said, a handwritten thank you note goes really far with me and my family. Even for a simple $100 donation, it made it feel like my gift mattered. That was a direct comment from an East Texas Giving Day donor last year. They felt valued, which is what this is all about. You want them to feel compassion for what you do, and you want to value what they do. Okay, so here's another one that I received last year after East Texas Giving Day. This is from the food bank, East Texas Food Bank. I really enjoyed this one because it gave an explanation of what the gifts during the gifts could do. It showed that 45,000 plus families were served in April. How many boxes of food were distributed? It said, thank you. You gave generously, and together we can do all these things. And I thought it was just very well done. So I love examples. I learn by examples. And so I thought I'd share this one with you. This is from Pets for People. Disclaimer, my father-in-law is on their board. Okay, well, actually, my mother-in-law is affiliated with them as well. So this one was great because it told in the first paragraph what my contribution was for East Texas Giving Day. It also included the honoree, which was my father-in-law. It invited me to come see their campus, which I thought was just really a nice touch. And it also gave me the contact information if I so chose to reach out directly to the executive director. I didn't have to go through I didn't have to call and go through all the hoops to get to her. She provided all that information up front for me so that I know that she wants me there. She wants me to come and see the Humane Society and love on some of those critters. So I just thought this one was a really well done thank you letter. Now, the big guys sometimes do it wrong. So I'm going to share with you that one. Okay, so the event date. They say, on behalf of everyone here at KERA, thank you so much for your generous gift on September 20th. However, I didn't get the thank you letter until December 6th. That's a long time. They're a big store, they're a big operation. There is no reason why it should have taken that long of a lag for them to get me a thank you note. I know that a lot of you guys write them as they happen, and so I do applaud that. They also gave the wrong information. It said that I would receive a tax information from the Communities Foundation of Texas in January. Well, that's not true. This was on a giving day, just like what we do. It was North Texas Giving Day, and I received the tax information immediately upon the contribution going through on their system. So it just seemed like they were out of touch with what was going on. Oh, and they also said, if we can be of assistance, please call KERA Audience and Member Services during business hours. Well, what are their business hours? I mean, I can assume that they're 8 to 5, but I don't know that. And there was plenty of space there. They could have included the business hours. I just thought it was I don't know, it was just kind of a turnoff. Okay, so I thought I'd also share that they have gotten a little bit better. So last year, during North Texas Giving Day, I supported KERA again. This time they sent this appeal. It was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and said that there's still time to give, which I thought was a good, timely email that came to me. However, I had already supported them by that point. So I thought, well, they just really haven't pulled enough of they haven't paid attention, basically. But the date of the event was 9/17. Okay, so that was North Texas Giving Day last year. I got the next day on September 18th a digital thank you that said thank you for supporting North Texas Giving Day and KERA's participation. I really liked this part. It told how many contributions they had and what the value of their support was. Mine, of course, was a very small contribution, but I thought this was just really informative, and I was like, wow, that's a great day's work. Congratulations, KERA. So while I never received anything more than this email from them, it was an improvement over the past year where they sent bad data. Okay, so give donors results. What they want to see is impact. What did you do with the money? East Texas Giving Day, send them complete results of the day. That's what the food bank did. That's what KERA did. Tell them how many meals that everyone's contributions combined will buy. Tell them the number of gifts that you received. It's just good data. People like to feel good for you. Remember, communication is the key to successful campaigns. So here's another great example. Our friends up at Northeast Texas Community College always do really great marketing pieces. This is from a few years back. I've already received their 2021 solicitation just like this. So this was a front and back. It said make history, give local, told what they were going to do, told they had great donors that were providing a match, all about the work program that benefits from the participation in East Texas Giving Day. After East Texas Giving Day, we received this magnificent postcard from them that said, thanks, this is how much money we raised, with explanations of all those different components. It just really tied it together in a nice little bow, and it was just really very well done. It was a very nice package. Okay, so you can, I know that mailing things out costs money, but you can do this digitally. There's lots of things out there that you can take advantage of. So creating a video, everyone has a cell phone now that has probably really great video quality. You can use any of these free apps, post it on YouTube and email it out because you've got all the email addresses from those East Texas Giving Day donors. This program, Video Shop, it's an Apple and Android download. You can do sound effects, subtitles. I think you can share it instantly to Facebook or YouTube. iMovie, I have used iMovie. It's on your phone, or you can download it to your phone. It lets you combine footage, add subtitles. I think it's really basic and easy to use. I know that my 13-year-old has used it to create little videos. It just takes time. You have to have time, and you have to have the dedication to make it happen. Don't just say, oh, I was gonna. This is things that you need to probably incorporate, because you could use iMovie if you download the app on multiple applications throughout your year, not just for East Texas Giving Day. There's another app called Splice. I have never used it. I've heard good things about it, so I'm sharing it. If you use it, report back, let me know. I'm always up for a little marketing gossip, so tell me what you think about any of these apps if you use them. So here we go. How does all of this fit back into my development plan? So, East Texas Communities Foundation, we love our pyramid of giving. This is the core to anyone's development strategy. East Texas Giving Day falls under annual gifts. These are the gifts that come in the mailbox. These are the gifts that keep you going. These are the sustaining. So this is the can you support us this year gift, not major gifts. Major gifts are would you support this campaign? And planned giving is does my organization mean enough to you to include me in your estate plan? Again, ETCF, the host of East Texas Giving Day, this is the space that we work in a lot, the planned giving phase. If you have contributors, that you think would be a great fit for planned giving, but you really don't know how to start that conversation, after Giving Day, call us. We'd love to visit with you. We want you to have those sustaining long term gifts that help your organization stay around. So if we can help you figure out how to compose or how to think about strategies for planned giving campaigns, just give us a call. We'd love to work with you on that. That's what creates endowments. That's what creates that sustainability, and that's really what ETCF does. East Texas Giving Day is just a program that we run, and the rest of the year we're doing scholarships and these kind of major gifts to help our nonprofit community. Okay, so annual giving. Annual giving is the primary route to raising funds for your organization's mission. It is building friendships. It's all about those reaching out and building those relationships and bringing someone along and investing time in them because they are investing financially in you. It can consist of 3 areas: appeals, events, and stewardship. Events, um, you know, East Texas Giving Day could fall under that. It's a campaign related to an event. So that's basically annual giving is your general operating. The purpose is to renew donor support annually, to cultivate donors and increase giving levels, solicit new donors to broaden your base of support, identify and develop leadership. So people who give to you and support you and then come along and want to become a volunteer. As you cultivate and steward those individuals, these are great candidates for future board roles. So think about that as you're talking and discussing things with individuals. Help educate constituents about your organization's work and identify and develop major gift prospects. So the more you visit with someone, the more you're going to find out about them and figure out if they're a good fit and if they really love you. And, they may be the person that wants to put their name on the side of the building before it's all over with. So think about how annual giving and you elevate them up that pyramid. And you are building donor loyalty. That's the key to annual giving. So characteristics of annual giving, these are large numbers of donations, but the smallest size of donations per gift. So you may get a whole bunch of $20 gifts. It's not going to be the $20,000 gifts. So think about it like that. They're less personal, but they're not impersonal. These are still ask and still donations that mean something to your organization, but they're not quite as, like I said, like putting their name on the side of the building. They have mass appeal. It's going to be things like direct mail, telemarketing, events. I remember when I was at SFA, they used to have you could volunteer to do it, but they would have you do these dial days where they would do these annual fundraising campaigns, and they'd give you a list of phone numbers, and you had to call all these people and explain how great SFA would have been to you, and you could talk to alumni about your experiences on campus compared to theirs, and the whole thing was all touchy-feely and made everybody feel all squishy about their college experience, and you hoped before it was over with that they gave you a credit card contribution. So that's what the telemarketing could be, but events and direct mail are primarily what organizations are using nowadays. Cultivating annual giving. You want to establish data. It's very important how that can help you to use that smartly and wisely as you go through the content. You want to maintain, you want to acknowledge, recognize, and renew. You want to continue sending cultivation emails out or mail out to individuals, encouraging them to support you, and you want to tell them what you're doing. That way they can support you. You want to provide them with information about your annual report or newsletters, how to get involved, how to provide feedback, how to volunteer. Again, all of that is cultivating of your annual giver. Oh, so here you go, friends. You guys are the first to hear it. We're going to go ahead and share the date of East Texas Giving Day 2022. It is Tuesday, April 26th. I know we're not even through this one yet, but we're always trying to get ahead and think about how we can improve as we move forward. And so, April 26th will be the next East Texas Giving Day. That is some important information for your donor stewardship campaigns. Whenever you're sending thank yous, or whenever you're sending follow-up information, I should say, not thank yous, I apologize, I almost broke my own rule. When you're sending follow-up information out to those annual givers and you're putting it in your newsletter, go ahead and put a save the date in your newsletter. Why not? If you're talking about how fabulous in your newsletter that your event was and how successful it was, why not plant the seed so that most your most uh, dedicated individuals can know to go ahead and mark their calendar and save the date for you. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. It is the final training for East Texas Giving Day 2021. Again, all of these recorded webinars are going to be available on easttexasgivingday.org under nonprofit resources, and they will be up there through the summer. I usually don't reset the site until, I don't know, October, November, somewhere in there when we start um, getting everything in line for the following year. But you guys can access all this content and share it and review it and do what you need to do. We are here at the foundation to help you. We want you to have a successful Giving Day campaign. And if there is anything that I can provide, I certainly will. A lot of the information is out there. You just have to utilize it. And we are just really looking forward to a fabulous event this year. In 2021, we raised 2.2 million. I have a stretch goal this year. If we can beat that, I know we can. I just wish you all the best of luck. And if I can provide you with any information, please don't hesitate to email me. My email address is on there. Our office number is posted everywhere. I don't see any questions that have been asked at this point. I can give you a few seconds. If you have one, I'd love to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off. But again, if I can help you, I will certainly do my best. And yep, no questions are coming through. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up for the day. I greatly appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Have a happy and successful East Texas Giving Day. Thanks.